I have been trying to do this video for literally the past 5 days, and I've been unable to. Currently in LA right now, so I'm coming to you from the future, from the rest of my vlogs. I actually have to leave in about 10 minutes to go to an audition. I didn't sign an NDA or anything, so I'll just say I'm auditioning to play the King of Pop teenage version in a musical. And what a weird week to have that audition, to play the greatest entertainer of all time. As you guys know, like, Kobe passed away this week from a helicopter accident, and his daughter as well. And it just hasn't been sitting easy with me, mainly because he was a hero of my dad, my Aunt Tam, anybody in my family who played basketball, you know, just reveled in his quotes and motivational speeches and inspirational moments. And it's just crazy. It really is. I'm in LA and you could just feel it. I felt it when I arrived. I felt it when I was driving through downtown to get to my hotel. I felt it this morning when I was picking up my headshots next to the Staples Center. I just can't believe that he's not here anymore. And I feel for his entire family and all the other families. I just wanted to make this video because I wanted you guys to understand his legacy from a point of view that may have not been spoken about anywhere. In the 90s, around the time when I was born, Kobe was just starting the NBA, and he went to high school in Philadelphia, which is right next to Ohio, where I was raised. And I remember just my dad telling me stories like in my childhood about how he always just wanted to like drive to Kobe's games. He wanted to see Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bryant. And he wanted to see him, you know, play his last high school game. And obviously he couldn't afford it because he had a child. But after that, I think it was about like 10 years later, we started driving around Ohio and we started seeing another young NBA ingenue and prospect named LeBron James, and we used to always go to his games and go to his playoffs and go to his finals, and all of that was because of Kobe. And I'm not telling this story to create some bizarre connection and be like, oh, I knew him. I mean, Kobe created an entire culture of sports fans. It was the first time in the age of, you know, this new 24-hour news cycle that we got to see somebody rise from high school to superstar. I was introduced to the sports world, just to this brand of ambition because of him. I speak when I say it feels like we lost a family member. It's just, you realize how short life is and how you just have to wake up every morning and work your ass off because you don't know when things are going to end. I mean, he was America's golden boy turned icon, a legend. I mean, he's done so much for so many people. He always talked about how he was a flawed person, how he made mistakes too, and stuff like that in interviews. But the thing that I loved about him was that he always said that there's always a chance and opportunity to get better. I think he made a reference to Snow White, and he was like, yeah, I was watching Snow White the other day.
Everybody talks about, like, everybody wants a happy ending. Right? Now let's go to the reality of it, right? Let's look at a fairy tale story. Let's look at Snow White. Mm-hmm. She gets a happy ending, she finds Prince, whatever, she goes on, she lives happily ever after. Well, I call bullshit on that because 2 months later, the fact is they had an argument and he's sleeping on the couch. Right? So the point is, the story continues. If you fail on Monday, the only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that. So to me, that's why failure is not existent. Because, you know, if I fail today, okay, I'm going to learn something from that failure and I'm going to try again on Tuesday. And I fail and I'm going to try again on Wednesday. So
he showed people that you can absolutely do anything if you put your mind to it, and to never, ever give up. Just because it's the end of the movie doesn't mean it's the end of the fairy tale. You always have a chance to get better. And there's going to be ups and downs in life. Fuck, if I could be a fraction of what Kobe is and will be remembered, I'm so happy to live in a time where Kobe was alive. And yeah, my mom sent me a link of Jimmy Fallon's video where he was talking about how, sorry if I cry in this video, I'm going to just cut it. But where he said that he was one of those people who just seemed like he was going to be around forever.
Kobe was such a life force, so strong and creative and inspired that in my head I thought that he was going to live forever. I met Kobe when he was 17 and I was 21. I've been wanting to talk to you about this because I haven't seen you since 1996. Yeah. We're at this party together and we just started talking to each other. I was just like, I didn't know anybody really at the party. I don't know why I was there. I snuck in or something.
I was on the bench and he was doing stand-up comedy and we were just kind of nobody. So they said, why don't you guys go out and get some beer?
They ran out of beer and so they go, no, someone's got to make a beer run. So they go, Kobe, you want to make a beer run? You go, I'll go. You go, Jimmy, you want to come with? So we get in your car and we go down to Pink Dot, which is a place out in LA out here where they only deliver food to you. It's not a store you can go in and buy stuff. So we knock on the glass and the guy goes like, what do you want? And we go, we want beer. He goes, I can't sell you beer. We don't sell anything here. We have to deliver it to you. And you pull your wallet out of and your ID out and you put it up against the glass and you go, I'm a Laker.
Oh, okay, come in.
All I'll never forget that. But I think I knew Kobe enough to know that he rose to any challenge by digging deeper and getting back to work. So let's honor Kobe, Gianna, and the other lives that were lost yesterday by following his example. Love your family, love your teammates, and outwork everyone else in the gym. Kobe, when we meet again, we're going on a beer run.
It's just hard for me, you know. Kobe's the same age as my parents, so half of his life was ahead of him. You know, he had already achieved so much, like 5 championships and an Academy Award. Like, how many people can say that they've done that? You know what I mean? And it's crazy too, because just a couple weeks ago, he was at Disneyland, and I texted one of my friends, I was like, Kobe's at Disneyland, like by himself, like he's so cool. Growing up, I've always said this and I always felt this, but I've never felt that there was a role model that I've been able to look up to. I was always jealous of the girls because they had Beyonce and they had these incredibly successful people who just worked so hard for their dreams to become a reality. And I've always looked for that in a black man, you know. I mean, aside from my parents, aside from anybody in my family, but who knew that Kobe was that person for me all along? I've just watched so many videos in the past couple of days and I'm like, God, I could have used this. God, I could have used this a year ago or 5 years ago. I could have used these words of wisdom. He was a legend, man. I cry a lot on this channel, and I don't want this to be about that. Something that I heard him talk about, I think it was with Jamila Hill, who's this popular ESPN correspondent. She asked him, she was like, you know, what's your idea of failure? And Kobe said one of the most prolific things I've ever heard. He said that failure can happen on a Monday, but he's gotten wins on a Friday, which is why you can never give up. You know, life is an ongoing journey, and you just have to keep on going, and there's never going to be a time where you have to stop until somebody has you stop. And it's just made me appreciate life so much more. It's made me appreciate my families and my friends for supporting this acting journey. And also went to the memorial this morning. It was crazy and I was just so emotional, like being there. I'll include that like right here.
One sweet day.
Oh guys, I'm so sad. Guys, people even wrote stuff down here too. I'm officially leaving the Staples Center. I stayed there for like an hour. I was just like looking at everything. It's crazy, man.
One sweet day.
You know, the point of this video isn't to trivialize his life at all or to like show his memorial as like some tourist attraction. I just love that guy, and as a black millennial, I feel like there's a small amount of people who don't understand just what he meant to our community, you know, that we can do anything and that there's no time to really rest because we have all these dreams, we have things that we want to do. It's partially why I, you know, started this vlog channel, because I want to share my life with people and I want people to see all the hard times, even if I don't make it as an actor, even if, you know, my time comes soon, even if life gets in the way soon, I want people to see how hard I've worked. And Kobe has this amazing legacy where he showed that, and he's inspired so many African-American teens and kids and people of all colors, and it's just something that I admire so much, and just been watching his videos, I just can't believe it's not here, people. But honest to God, he was the role model I never knew I needed. I remember his episode of Moesha. I remember every championship that he won. I remember when he won the Academy Award, and I was so proud. He was a role model for an entire generation. You know, my dad loved him. I loved him. Watching all his videos, it's getting me up every morning. And his legacy will never be forgotten. He will always be my favorite sports star. He will always be my favorite inspirational figure for the rest of the time after watching his videos. I just wanted to make this video for my channel because this week was supposed to go just a little bit differently. You know, I was going to come to LA and I was going to vlog every day and be happy Tywan and show you guys preparing my audition and my scats and doing all that. But the mood of just the entire city and just of my heart has been down. And it's crazy that, you know, I'm devastated, but yeah, life's not fair, which is why you have to grab it by the reins sometimes and just make sure you're living every day to the fullest, because you don't know when it's going to be your last. I think we get lost sometimes, but you just got to focus on what you were brought here to do and what you were made to do. You know what I mean? You want to inspire people. You want to change a culture, to change a generation, and to be 100% yourself, which is what Kobe was. I was just watching his Kelly Clarkson interview where he was singing Moana, you know, going to Disneyland every day, and it's like, that's it, man. Just be yourself. I'm so happy to live in a time where Kobe was alive. And you know, the thing about like being a black role model is that we don't have a lot of them. So when we get a good one, we get one that changed the culture, who's a legend, who works their ass off. He never rested on his height or his talent. You know, he worked his ass off, and he showed that. You know, the proof was in his success. It's hard out here. Just in general, it's hard, but it's hard to be black and to want a career in sports and entertainment. It's just difficult. So to have somebody like him reflect, you know, the best part of making it and having your dreams come true and, you know, achieving what nobody thought that you could was everything I needed. I'll never be the same after this, and I don't think that anybody will. Failure doesn't exist. You know, it's when you give up is when it exists. You just keep on going, keep working your ass off every day, and never let life get you down, because you never know when it's going to be the end of it. Yeah. So sorry for crying. Sorry, Mom, for crying. Sorry, Dad, for crying. I love you guys forever. Thank you for always supporting me and watching my acting journey. You just can't give up on a dream. Just gotta keep on going. You gotta cherish every day. Gotta live your life. And make sure you're doing all the right stuff. And I think that that's how his legacy is gonna be remembered. Never give up. If you have a dream, it'll happen. Just have to work your ass off. It'll be alright. I promise. Alright, bye guys.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
I will pull a star out of the sky for you. Yes, I would. To the edge of the earth, I'll go to see you.
Have a good time. Enjoy life. It's life is too short to get bogged down, to be discouraged, or you have to keep moving. You have to keep going. Put one foot in front of the other, smile, and just keep on rolling.